If you didn't like any of the wedding scene, you're anti-black. I don't make the rules.
Let me show you just what I'm made of.
I can't do intros in a rolling chair. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel, Will the Greatest here, and I'm here to give a 2-week late review.
Stop the cap! Stop the cap right now!
For Sonic the Hedgehog, because I have a big boy job now, so I don't do YouTube as a job like I did in my younger days when I worked for another channel. What a time to be alive. But nonetheless, yeah, I wanted to give my review because I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, let's talk about Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So I never did give my thoughts on Sonic the Hedgehog 1. I don't even think I talked about it on the podcast. But I thought it was fine. You know, I saw it with my little brother. We had a pleasant time. I thought it was, you know, nice, neat, safe. It did what it came to do. Is just an enjoyable kids film. So for spoiler free, talking about it, and I also have my laptop here so I can look at who the cast of this film is, because I don't remember anything. We see the return of Sonic and his human friends named Tom and his wife Maddie, the Wachowskis. At least it's not Chris Thorndike or Chris Chan. So Sonic's back. He's trying to be like heroic and do the right thing as he's getting older, as a teenage anthropomorphic giant blue talking hedgehog. We get the return of Dr. Robotnik, who finds his way back to Earth, because at the end of the first movie he wound up on in the Mushroom Kingdom. I mean a mushroom planet. And you know, he runs into a certain echidna, Knuckles the echidna. They find their way to Earth, and they have to, you know, fight Sonic and figure out where the location of the Master Emerald is, you know, before it's too late. Tails shows up, hijinks ensue. So what do I think? I think it's good. You know, legitimately, I think it's just like a good, fun time, especially for kids. I think kids are really gonna like it, but I think even Sonic fans will enjoy it. As somebody that's a little bit lapsed, but still tries to like keeps up with the franchise every now and then. Like, I haven't bought a Sonic game since Sonic Mania? No, Sonic Colors. I did get Sonic Colors, I like that. And Sonic Rivals, I like that. So yeah, it's been a while. I've always like kept track of the franchise. I always, you know, try to check in, like, is there finally a good Sonic game? No? Okay. So the movies, of course, kind of caught my interest. So watching this, as a lapsed Sonic fan, but someone that did grow up with the original 3 games, you know, Sonic 1, 2, and 3 have like a very interesting, like, formative year, because I discovered those around the same time I discovered Pokemon Crystal. There's a lot of nods to the franchise here, and I think it's very good. It builds upon the foundation that the first movie sets. There's a lot more separation between Sonic and what he has going on with like the Mobius pals, and what the humans have going on, and they do kind of like intersect at a point. I think the effects are pretty good. The action, you can actually follow it pretty well. There's better action than some projects from some other companies that I've seen before with more people. Yeah, I thought the plot was solid. It was engaging. I actually felt stakes, which was nice. That was cool. Even for a kid's film, I'm like, oh, okay, so like, there's a threat that like, you know, they might not win. That'd be an interesting twist. There's a lot of like children's humor, but it doesn't oversaturate it. Like, the movie's surprisingly funny, funnier than I expected it to be in terms of consistency. Like, I laughed at, I'd say like 80 to 90% of the jokes, and the stuff that people have actually been complaining about more, or stuff that I thought was like particularly funny. But yeah, there's some stuff, there's kind of an eye roll. This movie really didn't need to be 2 hours. I can see a lot of places where they like could have cut stuff. Like, there's one scene involving humans with Sonic that could have been cut, versus a latter scene involving the humans that could have been cut too. But I kind of like the other stuff. Ben Schwartz, he's really come into his own. He's found his way, you know, as a voice actor. So I think he's doing perfectly fine. You know, he was on DuckTales, so he has the experience there. I've grown accustomed to his voice. I think now with this second movie, I like it more, versus in the first one where I heard a lot more of what is it? Not Ralph Macchio. Mona Lisa Saperstein's brother.
The world
I heard a lot more like that Ben Schwartziness, but I could tell that he was trying. So it's not to knock him, but it's just like when I think Sonic, you know, I think Jaleel White or Jason Griffith or God, who's the new one? Brian something. Like all the I think the video game in the cartoon versions, so not as much what we have now with Ben. But Ben, you know, by the second movie, I think he's in it. He's got it. He's good. You know, so the passion was there the first time. I think now he's just locked in a lot more of the characterization. Idris is Knuckles. Like, at first I was like, what? Idris? What? How did they get... Why would they cast Idris? And then it took me like 5 minutes, and I'm just like, no, that's a good pick. Like, Idris is definitely a show stealer in it. He does a fantastic job as Knuckles. This is like his 6th voiceover role, I hear, so kudos to him. He does a great job. Tails... Colleen O'Shaughnessy returns, the legend herself, who's been playing Tails for like a decade. Put respect on these voice actors' frickin' names. They're doing hard work and they're making your childhoods. So props to her. I'm glad that a voice actor is getting like big recognition in a giant Hollywood project. It makes me so happy, and I hope that there's more opportunities that open up, and I hope she stays like with this cast for however many they want to do, probably a trilogy. But you know, it's. I'm really happy for her, and I'm happy that they're listening to the fan base. So the choices they're making with the cast, I think, they're safe, but they're really good. They're not even safe, you know. Even the experimental ones, they're just like they're all good picks. They're just good picks. It's just great talent all around as far as the voice cast goes. As far as the human cast goes, we get the return of Jim Carrey as Eggman. Yeah, he's great. He's good. He just picks up like no time ever left. I don't know what else to say. He's just really good in the part. I think it's weird having a much more kind of ADHD style Eggman where he's moving around a lot more. He kind of reminds me of a Denzel Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents with like a greater superiority complex, and he's like less, but he's more successful than Denzel was. Like a evil Santa Claus type, oh Sonic, you think you'll be able to defeat me this time?
Enjoy the Totino's pizza rolls, Sonic!
Like, the giant walrus man. I'm used to Robotnik. I'm not as used to this version of Eggman, who's a lot more, oh, Sonic, you don't understand my superior intellect.
With science, of course!
Like that kind of incel-y, simpy, I'm better than you, I'll get that rascally hedgehog. I'm not used to that kind of version of Eggman, but it's a welcome addition. I don't have complaints, and I love Jim Carrey, aside from him saying some stupid stuff recently. But I love Jim in the role, so he's doing great. He's killing it. And James Marsden returns as Tom Wachowski. He's good. I liked him as Tom. James gets some weird work gigs, but I'm glad it's working out for him. I liked him in Life After Death. Not Life After Death. Dead Like Me. So he finished season 2. But shout out to James Marsden. Him and Tika Sumpter have better chemistry, I think, in this movie. I think Tom and Maddie, James Marsden and Tika Sumpter respectively, work better in the sequel, I think, because they're more like a parental role for Sonic versus like that first introduction where it's like, there's a giant rat in the house, and them having to like get over being friends. Now they're like more of a family, which ties into the themes of the movie. And I just think their chemistry is better. I think they have they play off each other well. There's good comedic timing with Natasha Rothwell, who I love her on Insecure. She's so freaking funny. She's so talented. I really like Natasha. And as a writer, too, and a director. She's good. People didn't like her in the first movie. I didn't realize I recognized her from Insecure in the first movie. I'm like, this chick seems familiar. And then I get to the movie, I'm like, oh my god! No, I like her. I like her more in this movie. I thought she was funny in this movie. She's really funny. We get the introduction of and a couple other people come back, but yeah, no, it's overall. I mean, I think the cast does a great job with what they're given. Effects are good, action's good. I mean, I only have 2 gripes, and they're relatively minor, but I do want there are criticisms, I'll say. One is there are moments where the effects are just a wee bit dodgy, just a wee bit. Like there's a scene of Eggman and Knuckles over like an icy landscape, and I can just clearly tell that Jim Carrey is on like a set, like on a screen. Something's up with the lighting. It's always the lighting that throws it off. Low budget TV shows are really, really bad about this, and so is like the new Resident Evil. Like god awful. It was just noticeable. So there's a moment where he's like falling, and I'm just like, oh, he's doing this thing like on a green screen. You can tell it's on like a green screen, and they just like made him go smaller and stuff like that. Now he's like actually falling. So it's more so like there's a couple moments where the effects are kind of dodgy, but not like on the characters. It's just like people interacting with the scene. It's generally the humans interacting with the characters is actually pretty good. Like there's a hug near the end, and I was checking to see, I'm like, are their hands fading through anything? No, and they cut it just in time because you don't really get to focus on it long enough. But you see that it seems like they're holding on to something. And I know they have like actual models for like the actors to engage with, like life-size ones, which probably helps a lot, especially for like effects and engagement with the actors. So I think that's a genius idea versus just tennis balls. But no, the actors with the characters were fun. There's like the actors' composition in certain areas with the visuals was like weird, and a few like there are moments where it looks gorgeous, and then there are moments where it's like this looks really fake. It was like, oh yeah, no, the twin-tailed blonde fox and the giant knuckled red-headed, echidna freaking look fine. That's real. But something about this background landscape is throwing me off. The only other thing is the music doesn't stand out. They had two perfect moments to pull from very specific Sonic soundtracks. And I really wish they would have taken those opportunities, and they didn't. They might be saving it for the third movie for something that might be coming when I get to spoilers, which I'll get to in a second. But there wasn't enough of that, I think, iconic music that I really wanted, that I think could have like definitely tipped this over just a little bit in terms of my engagement. There's a lot of like orchestral music. There's a touch of rock. Apparently they threw Pantera in there, and there's like references to it, and they're like in different fun scenes. But Sonic has always been a mix of like, that 16-bit kind of orchestral music. But to me, he's also like has a really big rock catalog. And I wish they would dig more into that. I hope they do that for the third movie. Because there's a moment near the end, and I'm like, you gotta play the song. Because it's supposed to be an epic moment, but they use it more as like a grandiose epic moment. Not a, it just got real moment. But yeah, those are my primary gripes. So nothing major. So yeah, I walked out of the movie and just like, I had a good time with that. I laughed all throughout it. I enjoyed the action. The story's pretty simple to follow. Like for 2 hours, it could have been cut down, but I enjoyed myself, which is something I did not expect to say for the Sonic movie. So that's my spoiler-free part of the review. So now to spoilers. If you didn't like any of the wedding scene, you're anti-black. I don't make the rules. It's just the facts of life, player. There was so much melanin talent in this movie, and that was some of the funniest bits of the movie, in my opinion, because Natasha Rothwell and Tika Sumpter are hilarious. If you didn't find that the human part of that movie funny, you're anti-black.
Come on, if you're racist and you know it, clap your hands.
Doug Walker, anti-black. Movie Bob, anti-black. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Don't question me. I'm not explaining myself. If you didn't laugh at those parts, you're anti-black. I don't make it. But no, onto the actual spoiler section. God, what do you even talk about? They so much lore stuff from, they always had the Chaos Emeralds, I think, even back as far as Sonic 1, but they're really, this game takes a lot from Sonic 3, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, specifically. They introduced the Chaos Emeralds, they introduced the Master Emerald, more backstory with the echidnas. The stuff I thought they were going one way with the what was her name? Longhorn, whatever her name is. With like the owls and the echidnas, I thought it was going to be like the owls were actually the villains, and they didn't really follow up with that by the end of it, but spoilers. Okay, let's talk about the climax. Oh man, this was cool. Oh, I love the climax of the movie. It was so fun watching Sonic and Knuckles fight. That is one of the moments where I think they actually used a little bit of the leitmotif of like Sonic's underwater theme. You know, the dun 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 dun. So I think they lightly introduced it into the orchestra. I just wish it was more pronounced when Sonic was like about to drown and Knuckles saves him. But the last scene, Robotnik actually, you know, Eggman actually wins for a solid chunk of the movie, which I thought was really cool. He actually, they don't stop him initially. Now, granted, that's to set up, you know, the finale, but they don't stop him. He wins. He goes back. He makes this giant egg mech. I guess that's just what I'll call it, the egg mech. The egg Jaeger. the Jaeger, like egg in the middle, Jaeger.
Everyone, boo this nigga!
But he wins, and he's like messing up Green Hills, Forest District, I guess. He's not stomping on too many buildings. They introduced Gun, which made me really, really happy, because that also sets up what we get at the end, you know. So it turns out, you know, the crew, that the government organization is trying to... I don't remember if they explicitly stated that in the first movie or not. I don't think they did. Because they make a point, you know, Natasha Rothwell's character, Rachel, pointing out that it's like, oh, it's named Gun. Okay, so it's like, I'm like, oh, it's Gun, you know. And one of the helicopters actually said SA2. So I'm just like, oh, that should have been the first clue with the post-credit scene, you know, introducing Gun, having SA2 on it. So that's what... So if the first one is a bare skin bones version of like Sonic 1 and this is Sonic 3, it's looking like Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's looking like the sequel's setting up to do Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, which I think is fun, at least some sort of light adaptation of that. It sounds like Sonic Adventure 2 from the likes of it, maybe elements of 1. But God, what else is there? We get the Egg Mech. That's dope. The fight with Sonic and Knuckles in the Temple of the Emerald, I think, is really cool. Even though it's like a giant laser beam in the sky and there's a giant, you know, the temple with the maze, I think that was really creative. Oh yeah, in the climax where initially Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, it's a Sonic Heroes reference of all things. They do a Team Sonic, where they're it's something like they did actually with Spider-Man No Way Home. They play off each other's talents. It's like, you know, with your strength and your brains and my speed, we'll work together. And that was Team Sonic during the hero line in Sonic Heroes, which I thought was really cool. So it's like, you know, Sonic's bouncing around, Knuckles is throwing him up, Tails is catching him, you know, Tails is carrying Knuckles while Sonic is running around. That was really cool. It was really cool.
Calm down, son. It's just a drawing.
You know, it was nice. I'm like, oh, I never thought I would see the day where I see it on film. That was dope. But the thing that made me so excited was Knuckles. You know, he punches the Master Emerald out of Eggman. I thought it was interesting too how they made the Chaos Emeralds fuse together to make the Master Emerald, and then it breaks to become the Chaos Emeralds. But then he actually reforms it, but the Chaos Emeralds disappear at the end of the movie. We don't see where they go. And for a specific reason I'll get to in a second, that got me excited. But that's interesting because I don't think that was originally how it worked. I mean, originally, you know, we also had like the Super Emeralds and we had like Hypersonic. So I am like a smidgen disappointed that we didn't get to see like Super Knuckles or Hyper Knuckles and Hyper Tails. Super Knuckles and Super Tails. Maybe in the next one, who knows? But we did get to see, you know, because Sonic is limping, and you know the Tom and Maddie go and save him in the truck because they're a family, hooray family thing, and they and he snags the Master Emerald, and so you know what we get is, you know, they're surrounded by fire and Eggman is preparing to step on them when in the Egg Mech, Sonic goes supersonic, and it's great. I don't know why we can't do a live-action Dragon Ball Z movie, right? Sonic the Hedgehog got it right in the first go. It was perfect. They got the look down, they got the eyes down, they got the energy. It was perfect. The way he zipped around, the way he was like stopping attacks, the way it only lasted a couple minutes because he didn't have any rings on. You know, so like the short time span of it, even though he gave up the power, but it was so cool. I felt my inner, you know, 9-10-year-old who saw these videos of Super Sonic, but never fully getting a chance to like play it outside of maybe a couple games. Because you know, in the 16-bit games, you had to earn it, which I think narratively Sonic kind of does. He learns it's like, you know, I have to be responsible if I want to be a hero. I have to take care of people. I have to look out for them. And I think him being like, I want to protect my family, you know, he earns it. So I think he did earn that transformation, and it's dope how he just like takes on Eggman, just boom, boom, boom. It's like it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's short, sweet, and dope. And the only thing that would have made it better is if they played "Open Your Heart" by Crush 40. Then that was one of the musical cues. There were 2 musical cues that they missed. One of them was "Not Living in the City," but that is a great song. What is it called? The other one by Crush 40. Doom 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 doom. Woo! Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places. Escape from the City. They could have played the riff to Escape from the City while I was going down the snowboard. It was the perfect time. I know he's not in a city, but he's riding on a snowboard impromptu. In that game, he jumped out of a helicopter, somehow connected to like a plate. It didn't make any sense then. Still doesn't make any sense, but it was cool. You should have played the electric guitar from Escape to the City during the avalanche. It was perfect. So it's like, that was the first musical cue, and had they played, and I could hear it in my head, just the timing of like the step going down, Eggman thing is one, just just that little bit of that guitar, and just like him coming up, golden antenna, just like it's, you're so close to perfection. You're a hair's breadth away. I would probably give this movie like a 10 out of 10 if you at least got that second musical cue. Would have killed. But no, it was still a great scene. It's still really cool. And yeah, the only other thing I think to spoil, I mean, you know, and I think the climax is nice. There was something that gave me pause. Is you know, they've been talking about like the narrative of them being friends and, you know, them being like a family. And early on in the movie, he's like, you know, don't talk to me like you're my father. And he's like, oh, okay. And I'm just like, oh, well, that, because Sonic's like a teenager. He's like 15, 16. Something that I think a lot of us forget, that, you know, he has an age and he is a kid. They all are. Like, Tails is what, 12? Knuckles is like 17. So they're teenagers. By the end, you know, Sonic calls Tom dad. And I wanted it to happen, but getting it felt weird. Like, it felt kind of like a kind of monkey's paw. Like, oh no, it's like, no, Sonic, he's like a dad to you. You know, he's looked out for you, he's cared about you, he's just trying to make sure you're safe and responsible. But then hearing Sonic call someone dad, especially a human, feels weird, you know? Like this like 3 foot tall anthropomorphic hedgehog with this white man and this black lady, and it's just like, oh, dad and mom and our dog. It's like, it's not wrong, but it feels off. You know, it's just like, I got some questions. That's all. But I think it was well intentioned and it was wholesome. So I'll give it that. You know, Knuckles is basically Starfire. You know, I'm so glad I've learned the base of ball. It's like, thank you, Knuckles, for that Starfire-esque intrigue. Yeah, the only thing to talk about is the post-credit scene, and it's Shadow.
Disgusting black creatures, get out of my sight.
I knew if they got a third one, they were going one of 2 ways. Either we do Metal Sonic or we do Shadow, because we haven't done Sonic versus the Sonic clone. And they might do both. You know, they're setting up that Eggman will make one final stand. I kind of want him to go a little darker. We got hints of that here, and I thought that was really nice. So I wouldn't mind because he can still be a little, like, eccentric, but be less Eggman and more Robotnik. You know, I'd love to see a little bit more of that 90s style. That more, like, evil doctor versus, like, the more wild and crazy guy that we have now. So it looks like they have his lackey at the end, so we don't see his body, but we, you know, no, confirm your kills. So as far as I know, he's still alive. And I don't want to see him again. We're not going to pull from any of those other villains. Like, we're not going to see Chaos in him. Well, we might, actually. We have the emeralds, and we're getting Shadow. We might get the Bio Lizard. Wouldn't that be some shit? But no, my guess is where they were either going to do Metal Sonic or Shadow. So I'm thinking if they're trying to pull more in, they can do Shadow and Metal Sonic in a movie. I'd be hysterically curious to see if they tried to find a way to work Amy into it as maybe like a post-credit scene for like Sonic 3, and then after that they just do like Sonic. But I think it would be cool if they go back to Mobius. I think it's Mobius in the movie where they're from. I don't know if they confirmed it or not. It should be Mobius, but I think it'd be cool if they, you know, Tom and Maddie went with Sonic to his world. We've had stuff on Earth enough. We're getting Shadow, so it's like if we do a third or fourth one, do one of those on Sonic's homeworld. Give us more of that lore. I like the lore and the world building they're doing for Sonic's universe. I just wish they would give us a little bit more, and maybe we'll get more of that with the Knuckles show. But yeah, we're getting Shadow. I was super duper excited. You know, Gun showed up. We got SA2. Those are the hints, and we see him. We see his eyes glow red. He looks like Shadow. He is perfect. Question is, who are they gonna cast? Everyone's saying Keanu Reeves, and for once, because they keep freaking fan casting Keanu for everything where he doesn't fit. No, he will not work as Revan. No, he should not be Namor. Stop casting him as like random stuff that doesn't fit his talents. But however, he's a great Shadow the Hedgehog. He has the perfect voice cadence for it. That's right in his wheelhouse, because Keanu is like Nicolas Cage. He's an actor where you have to cast him to his talents, not the other way around. You know, he's not like Andrew Garfield where the talents kind of shift to the medium. You gotta work with what Keanu has, and Keanu has a very specific range. That's why John Wick works well. That's why the Matrix movies work well. You know that he has that lower umber to him. You know, so it's like he would make a great Shadow. If not him, me. I don't know. I don't care. I'll do it. I'll be Shadow the Hedgehog. I love to voice Shadow. That'd be so fun. You know, what are you doing, you meddling hedgehog? Damn, Gun got the best of me. Those nasty black creatures. Like, come on, it'd be fun. It'd be hilarious. We'd have a ball. But yeah, we're getting Shadow. Case is still out about who's gonna be like the long-term villain. I guess if they're doing Gun and Shadow, in 50 years, like straight from the game, you know, we found this old buried project from 50 years ago, Project Shadow. I'm like, that's just ripped directly from like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. You know, straight from the lore. So that looks, I guess we're getting Maria. Who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be Anna Taylor-Joy? Well, she's in the Marvel movie. I don't know if they're gonna get her. Is it gonna be I don't know, Dove Cameron? Maybe? I don't know. Who are you gonna cast to play Maria, and who's gonna play like Uncle Robotnik? Very curious to see what they do villain-wise. I think they might do Metal Sonic, so we can get like Metal Madness, because you know I can see Dr. Robotnik being very much, you know, if I can't have my own, I'll make my own, and Shadow and Sonic being rivals, and then you know now you have like the Chaos Emeralds and everything, so now you can introduce like Chaos Control, and just like basically like the race for everything, which is like Sonic, Shadow, and Metal Sonic. I think it'd be a fun fight, because they've only really ever fought him once, and that was in Sonic Heroes. So if they're building off some of that Sonic Heroes lore, this is a good time to do it. If you're gonna have Sonic versus the evil Sonic, why not do two birds, one stone? You know, you have anti-hero Sonic and you have evil Sonic, who's a robot. So just mash up Sonic Adventure 2 with the old Sonic OVA, and boom, you got it.
You might know everything I'm going to do, but that's not going to help you, since I know everything you're going to do. Strange, isn't it?
Those are my thoughts, spoiler-wise, on the movie. What were your thoughts? Let me know down in the comment section below. Did you enjoy Sonic the Hedgehog 2? Are you looking forward to the new Sonic movie and the Knuckles spinoff? I would like to hear your thoughts. Did you like it as much as me? Did you not like it? What did you not like about it? Because I thoroughly had a fantastic time, and I can't wait to go out and see everything everywhere all at once at some point. But that's been me. That's been me. I've been one of the greatest. Be great to one another. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like the video and hit that notification bell so you know when I put out new content. I will see y'all in the next video.